Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome to episode 22 of the Glitched Out Gaming Podcast. I am your host, Lord X, and I welcome you to the show. Joining me, as always, is the one, the only, Israel Pacheco.
It's a trap.
Star Wars theme today,
yeah,
aren't we?
I've played too much Star Wars lately. Oh man, today driving to work, I was listening to the Star Wars soundtrack. I woke up this morning. I don't know. I was just in a Star Wars mood, but I think everybody else is. When you go to stores and you see all this merchandise, Jesus, there's Star Wars everything.
Oh yeah.
Star Wars cookies, Star Wars hats, Star Wars diapers, Star Wars.
Hell,
I don't know about diapers, but it
probably
is.
are. Yeah. Some Greedo undies out there. Today's episode, we've got quite the show. We're going to talk about a new sequel that was announced. Free games coming next month. Quite the discussion on something, which I won't get into right now. In our topic of the week, we've got a double dose again, double jeopardy, as you would say, with the Game Awards and PSX in our topics. But we are going to kick off this show like we kick off every show with what we've been playing. And Izzy, how goes Battlefront?
Yeah. And speaking of Star Wars Battlefront is still good, really good, but I'm kind of grown tired of it. This is funny because last week I was so high on it. I was incredibly high on it. And I think there's a lot of fantastic things about the game. The presentation is top-notch, everything about it. The character models, the levels, the music, the sound effects, everything feels like Star Wars. But I've done most of the stuff that you could do in it. I've played all the different modes online. I've done, all the different single-player / co-op stuff that you can do. I could see why people were complaining that there wasn't a campaign, which is a disappointment with such an incredible engine like this. I actually saw early on Eurogamer, they did this video where they mashed up Return of the Jedi, the movie clips with the clips from the game when you're doing the sequence with the speeder bikes, right?
Okay.
And they mashed it up, and it looks like side by side, it looks incredible. Like you're watching the video, you're like, oh, which is the game, which is the movie? And it's really impressive because I think they were running it like on a very super high-end PC. But yeah, in terms of its presentations, top notch. But I'm definitely starting to get ticked off a little bit with the whole season pass situation and how much content they are holding behind the season pass. I'll be getting the Battle of Jakku pretty soon, within the next week, since I pre-ordered the game. So that probably refreshed the experience for me because it'll be a new map where I could do, I'm guessing, all the different types of modes. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. But yeah, it's definitely lacking in content, which is a shame because what's there is super fantastic in my opinion. My little brother's still playing it, like, Every day I get home from work, he's like, you want to play Battlefront? You want to play Battlefront? And then we'll like play on my days off, and then we'll stop. He's like, now you want to play Battlefront? I'm like, geez, we just played it. So my little brother, he's addicted to it. I think he's like probably 2 to 3 times my level in terms of rank, since he's been playing it so much. He plays it, and then his friends come over and they all play it like couch co-op. So It's a good game, but it definitely has some issues. So I'll kick it over to you to see what's been one of the games you've been playing. I'm guessing Fallout.
Yeah.
Which has been the game you've been playing for the last several weeks.
Yeah, since it came out, it's been my go-to game. Yeah, I'm still digging it, still loving it, and there always comes a moment, for me anyway, for a lot of games where I'm playing it, like, okay, this is interesting. I'm kind of liking the story, but I'm not hooked yet. but there comes that time where you do experience that moment where you finally get hooked, where you finally get invested in the story. And last night, or sorry, not even last night, today while I was playing, I had that moment. So yeah, now I'm like, I have to finish the main story into this game. Like, it's gotten me. It's hooked its claws into me. I'm pretty much sold now. I really want to see where it's going to go. I really don't want to say anything to spoil anything, but it's good. It is good. And I'm still having a blast, like, exploring, doing the side quests, and stuff like that. It's still so very much fun.
How far into the, sorry to cut you off, but
No worries.
how far into the game do you think you are? Is there a way to really keep track of it? Like, is there like a percentage meter in terms of how much you've played of the main campaign, or is there any way to track that in the game?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't looked. I know there's a statistics tracker which tells you how many like people and animals you've killed,
Oh, okay.
stuff like that, but I haven't noticed, to be honest.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would like to see more games implement something like that, like how Arkham Knight did. I think that was fantastic how it did it. Like it kept the, single player. Well, it was all single player. What am I talking about? But the like main missions. That's what I meant to say.
Yes.
Like you had that like, I guess what is it, like a circle, whatever.
Yeah.
And then on the top you have like the main missions, and then all the side missions and side content is around it. I thought that was really well done, and it would tell you their percentage of how far you're into it. But I don't know if a game as massive as this could really have something like that,
Yeah,
to be honest.
I guess it would be pretty hard, yeah. It might be there somewhere. I'll take a look for the next episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
Yep, so I'll kick it back to you again.
All right, here comes the rant. So as I said, I was, starting to get a little fatigued with Star Wars Battlefront. It's still a good game. I'm still enjoying it, but there's a little bit of fatigue setting in. So I wanted to play something single player, story-based. One of the games on my list of games that I want to complete before the end of the year. So I decided on Halo 5 on Xbox One.
Oh, boy.
And I started playing the game, and it started off bad because they made you play as Locke instead of Master Chief. I don't know if they want to do that to like kind of throw you off or whatever the case may be, but in this game you switch back and forth between their different perspectives, between Agent Locke's Osiris team and Master Chief's blue team. And it starts off with Osiris team, and it's like really super over the top, great CG cinematic. The in-game cutscenes look great. I played, the first two levels. I'm like, okay, this looks good. Then I got to the third level, and for some reason, the graphics were incredibly disappointing and off. It just felt like it took a drop. In terms of like the textures on the floor and on the buildings and on the characters. I actually was so like, what happened, that I reset my Xbox because I thought it was like, it was glitching out. And, some games, they have like pop-in textures and things like that that happen occasionally. So I thought it was something like that. So I reset it. I went back in, and still the same issue. And I'm like, this is not very impressive, especially this being like the flagship franchise for the Xbox One. I'm like, this doesn't look very impressive. I was a lot more impressed, to be honest, with Halo 4 on Xbox 360 when that came out. Some of the Halo games, I guess at their individual releases, were like displays of what the Xbox hardware could do, like the original Halo Combat Evolved. That was super impressive when it came out at launch. Then Halo 2 came out in 2004. That was super impressive. Halo 3, not so much because that game was rushed. So was Halo 2, but Halo 2 was more impressive graphically on the system. And Halo 4 came out, and that looked super, super impressive, especially on the 360, being so old at that point. I think came out in 2012, I want to say. So it's been a while. But for whatever reason, this game just, in terms of its visuals, is like throwing me off. Like, and I'm not a graphics whore, and it's like it's weird because I was praising so much Star Wars Battlefront and the presentation in that game, and now I get this game, a game that I'm expecting to look incredible because I saw reviews, read reviews, saw video reviews, and nobody really pointed out that the graphics weren't that impressive. I like the art direction because you could definitely see the influences from Halo 4, which Halo 4 looked a lot like Metroid Prime because one of the artists from the Metroid Prime franchise was working at 343 at the time. I think he might have departed at this point, not sure, but it's just not really impressive and it wasn't really grabbing me. I think some of the improvements are cool, like it feels a little more faster pace. It feels great on the Xbox One controller. But it's kind of strange because it feels like a squad-based mentality to it. I don't know if they were trying to build it more for co-op. I wonder how co-op works because I know in the other Halo games, you just played like a duplicate Master Chief. But in this one, I could see you playing one of the side characters from either Osiris team or Blue team. But it was just like really strange because you could give them commands and like tell them to go in a certain direction or point out an enemy and tell them to attack him. So I thought it was cool, but it's kind of strange for a Halo game. But yeah, it kind of threw me off, and I really don't know what's going on with this game. Like, I'm understanding what's going on in the story, but it's kind of a letdown. Maybe it'll wrap up better towards the end of the game, but I'm hearing that there's a lot of issues with the story. Maybe 2.5 hours into it, I've completed, I think about 6 missions, and there's only 15, so I'm probably like a third way through the game already.
Yeah,
it's a really mixed bag. Like, there's like moments of greatness in it, but then there's other times that I'm like, this doesn't look that great. Some of the weapons are kind of annoying. Some of the enemies are kind of annoying. Like, it's like I keep going. Like, there's like an internal struggle inside me to decide whether I like the game or not. Like, it's a really weird experience because there's games in the Halo franchise that I'm not a big fan of, like Halo 2, for example, or Halo Reach. But this one's like the first one in a while that just kind of threw me off. And I don't know. It's just not really clicking with me, but I want to complete it. I don't know. Maybe I feel different next week when I talk about it, but it might end up in like my top 5 most disappointing games of the year.
Wow.
I don't know because last week I said Star Wars was like my game of the year. I was nuts. I was saying like up there. So maybe next week I'm like Halo 5 is the game of the year by the end of it. But I don't know. I guess it being the flagship franchise for Microsoft on the Xbox platform, I expected more, especially when you look at the jump between Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like, that's a huge, humongous leap. So my expectations are super high going into this game, and when you're playing it, like the cutscenes look really good, but then when you're playing it, it's not that impressive. It looks like it's running at a lower resolution for whatever reason when you're actually playing it instead of when you're watching the video feed, and it's at 60 frames per second, but the enemies kind of move kind of jittery, and you do too. It's just weird. It's a mixed bag for me.
Right on.
But yeah, I'm not impressed.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll move it over to you before I keep ranting about what the hell happened in 343. You had 3 years to make this game, and
yeah, that is shocking.
It feels like rushed to me. Like it does. Like don't get me wrong. It doesn't look terrible, but it doesn't look like, wow. Like this was supposed to be a game that you see, you're like, wow, this is what the Xbox One can do. And not the case.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. For their flagship franchise, that will be the one game you would expect to go above and beyond.
Beyond. You had to put in the PlayStation reference with a Microsoft game. That's classic. Anyway, let's move on to a couple more of the games that you've been playing.
Right. Well, let's talk about something positive, and that's Minecraft Story Mode Episode 3. Yes, Episode 3 is already out, which boggles my mind because the game only launched like last month in October, and we've already gotten 3 episodes. This is unusual for Telltale.
Do you think they held these back intentionally? Like they delayed the release of the game to just have these, release in a better timeline? Because the other releases, it'd be like a month later, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. Like you never knew.
Yeah, maybe they're doing it because it's Telltale, or not Telltale, sorry, it is Telltale, but because it's Minecraft and they expect a lot more younger players to be playing, so they want to get them out quicker, maybe?
That makes sense too, especially when the disc is like a season pass disc, so it doesn't include all the episodes, it just includes the first one, and then I guess you download the other ones whenever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, Episode 3. Episode 2 was a little disappointing, as I think I mentioned on a previous episode. But Episode 3, like, redemption. It was incredible. Lots of action. Really funny humor. The story progressed at a really nice pace, and it was interesting. It was fun. And though, yes, it kind of, like, leans towards more younger people, there's a lot to appreciate too for older folks. The weapon that this game or this episode focused around building was it was combining Super TNT to make the F-bomb.
That's funny.
Yeah. So like little things like that, and there were a few others. A couple little emotional moments, but overall I enjoyed it. It was really good. And if they keep up that pace, Minecraft Story Mode could be one of the better series that Telltale has done.
It could be finished by the end of the year.
It could be. Which would be well, I doubt if it will be, but it would be mind-blowing. Just to think that a Telltale game could release in the same year and be considered for, a top 10 list. Wow.
Yeah.
The last thing I've been playing, I'll just mention briefly because I only played like 15 minutes of it, and that's the Firefly Diary. The first part of that title I'm not going to pronounce and didn't write down either, but let's see. It
Let me look it up.
HTO capital L # capital N lowercase I capital Q. The Firefly Diary.
Yeah, I ain't trying that either.
So, yeah, I started that up, started playing it. It's a touch-based game where you use the touchpad to control this little firefly, and it guides, like, the little girl on screen to go in whatever direction you're going into. So it's kind of like a puzzle game. I would say similar to, like, something like Murasaki Baby, but...
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say.
But a bit different than that. The art style and everything's completely different, but overall, I think it's... Well, I only played 15 minutes, so already it's alright. Though I'll probably dive into it when I'm not, like, half asleep like I was last night when I turned it on. So, yeah. And that pretty much wraps it up for what I've been playing.
Yeah, that's it for me, too. Only Battlefront and Halo.
Alright then. So we have finished that fight, so it's time to dive into the big boss round table of news.
They didn't finish those graphics, Jesus. I didn't even get on there. Finish the graphics. That's gonna be Master Chief's new motto. Finish the graphics. Oh, jeez.
Oh boy. Alright, why don't you tell us about a game that just got announced?
This one I actually hadn't heard about till I saw it here on the document. And it's called Shakedown Hawaii, which is by The Blank Entertainment, the guys behind Retro City Rampage, which came out a few years ago. Well, more than a few years ago. It came out 3 years ago. It's been out on PS4 and Vita for some time now. This is a follow-up to that game. It takes place, I believe, 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. I was reading here after the events of Retro City Rampage, instead of being in an 8-bit graphic style, it's going to be in 16-bit, which definitely has my attention.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the art style just by looking at these screenshots right here. I never really played much of Retro City Rampage. I remember getting it on PS Plus like a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I played a little bit of it. I just kind of fooled around. It's, the isometric view, similar to the older Grand Theft Auto games, Grand Theft Auto 1 and 2 on the PlayStation. But this looks more intriguing to me just because it's 16-bit. But it looks pretty awesome. They just announced the game. It's there's a cover here, I believe. It looks like the magazine cover, like a Game Informer cover,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which is pretty awesome. But they're going to be doing their first playable demos at PlayStation Experience, which we'll be talking about later in the show. But this looks pretty damn awesome. This definitely has my attention. It looks pretty sweet.
Yeah, it really does. It invokes that old Super Nintendo vibe to it.
Oh, yeah. Once I saw this like little video, just like the thumbnail, I was like, oh, 16-bit. Like I knew it immediately. I was like, this looks awesome.
Yep. And going with that magazine cover, I like how it kind of, as like the top comment even says in the blog post, love the reference to the Max Payne 3 Game Informer cover. Very
Yeah.
clever.
It definitely is the same thing. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Too
Yeah.
legit to quit, too big to fail.
So yeah, I'm definitely interested in this. I loved Retro City Rampage. I thought it was a very awesome game. Game that I should probably get back to at some point. But yeah, it was fun, and I'm really looking forward to this one. It's looking even better, in my opinion.
Yeah, it really is. It sold it to me once I saw the 16-bit art style. I was like, sold. You got me. You did it.
All right, then.
Yeah.
I guess we can move on into our next news story, and that is the free PlayStation Plus games for the month of December. And yes, it is time, folks. In December, PlayStation 3, PlayStation Vita, and PlayStation 4 will be getting a brand new batch of video games. Our PlayStation Plus Instant Game Collection will be getting new games for you to play. And the lineup for December includes, on the PlayStation 4, we get King's Quest Chapter 1, A Night to Remember, and Gauntlet Slayer Edition. On the PlayStation 3, we get Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, friggin' awesome game, and SSX. I believe it's Tricky, Tricky, Tricky. And on the Vita, we get Rocket Birds, Hard Boiled Chicken, which is a great side-scroller.
The hell is that?
And Freedom Wars, probably the last PlayStation Vita exclusive, or first-party exclusive.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, it's a fucking awesome month.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I definitely would have not tried King's Quest if it wasn't one of the games included on PlayStation Plus. So once I saw that, I'm like, all right, I'll give that a shot. I have no attachment to the King's Quest franchise because I didn't grow up with a PC like in the late 80s, early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. That's when that series was really popular from Sierra.
Yep.
Gauntlet looks just fun, like a co-op fun game.
Yep.
Never got really into Freedom Wars. It really wasn't for me. But Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon was freaking excellent. It's super over. Oh, the soundtrack is so good.
Oh, yes.
Soundtrack is so good, man.
That end theme song was amazing.
It was nuts, but yeah, SSX, I never played the reboot that they did of SSX. I heard it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Rocket Birds, not really familiar with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably just add it to my, my list of games that I own. Check it out maybe down the line, maybe not.
Yeah.
But for sure, I'll probably try out King's Quest and probably Gauntlet also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Yeah, I honestly have been thinking about picking up Gauntlet for the last couple of months, and I'm really happy to see it go on now for Plus. King's Quest, like yourself, I had been interested into it back when they announced it, but I think the price was like really high on like for just Chapter 1, so I was like, I'm gonna hold off. So, but
Yeah.
that's one I will definitely be playing like day one next week when it releases. Rocket Birds, I have played that. It's fun. Freedom Wars, it was fun. I think I got distracted by other things, so I never really dived into it as much as I wanted to. And also I heard like later on in the game it gets really difficult to play on your own, like near impossible. You need to do missions with other people online.
Oh, it's one of those games. Damn it.
Yeah. Blood Dragon, like you said, freaking awesome. Play that, people. Like, dust off your old PS3 and play it. If you trade it in your PS3, break into EB Games, get it, bring it back home, download it, and play it. And SSX, never played it, but I definitely will try it out now.
But that's definitely the thing about this now, which we'll get into in a little bit with Xbox's lineup for December, is backwards compatibility, because now all the games that Xbox will be releasing now on that are 360 games are going to be backwards compatible on Xbox One, as far as I know from what I've heard. So that's kind of a bummer that you don't play. You can't play, I should say, Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon on PS4. That would be awesome, because I'd replay it. But yeah, and this has gotten like a really bad reaction from what I've seen online. It's been like this probably this whole year, to be honest, for PlayStation Plus. There's good titles on there, but I definitely have to agree with some people that maybe give us some more bigger stuff. Like I'm fine with the smaller stuff. Like I'm not one of those people that hates indie games. Indie games are, fantastic. Not all indie games, but the ones that I like and I play, I really enjoy.
Yeah.
But give us some more like major titles. Like I think we even talked about this last month when we read the other list. But like there's stuff like Knack and The Order and Killzone. Like those games are all $20 now. Same thing with like Infamous Second Son. Like just give people that game. I guess they don't want to cannibalize the sales. Their sales of their like greatest hits lineup, but just do it. Like we haven't seen like a major game price since Injustice, the whatever edition it was called, which came out last December. Which I think that's been the only like major AAA game that's come out on PS4 since launch of the console.
I guess you can kind of count First Light.
Oh yeah, Infamous First Light, yeah. That's like a bigger game. It's the downloadable expansion, but yeah, I'd count that too. But still, it's been we're gonna go into the third year of PS4, and it's like, come on, guys, like. You give us some other stuff. I would just like to see their justification for this, like, which is like I'm about to go on a tangent, but it's like another reason why I would like to see Sony do like Nintendo Directs, like, because they could address stuff like this in those. They could speak to people and be like, hey, this is the reason why we don't have these major titles on PlayStation Plus, because we would rather give you smaller stuff that's more recent, more up to date, or that's brand new on the market, and you get to enjoy a fresh experience instead of giving you some like year-old third party or first party game. Whatever the justification it is for this, they've never really come out and said, to be honest. So that would be a question for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the list for games coming out December 1st, and even though it is an older title, and it's only just like making its debut on the new gen systems, Chivalry would have been a nice game to include on this list.
Yeah. Yeah, there's stuff that they could I don't know. I don't know what the return on PlayStation Plus is, how much these developers get paid up front. Like, there's so many factors to all this, so we don't know just because
Yeah.
you're just two casual dudes. Like, we don't work in the industry. We don't have no contacts.
Hmm.
So we don't have no contacts in the industry. We have no context for any of this because we don't work, directly for PlayStation. So it's
Hmm.
just an interesting question that I would like to know and I would like to see them address.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm. So, moving forward, let's talk about Xbox lineup for their Games with Gold service for December, which I'll get into like a mini rant in a second. Games with Gold for Xbox One, they will be the Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing and Square Enix's Thief. So Thief's been out for a while too.
Yeah.
But it definitely is like one of the major titles. That kind of came out and just disappeared, to be
Hmm.
honest. You could say it was
It
a
hid in the
stealth
shadows.
self-release. Goes all
We did get that on PS3 for PlayStation Plus, if I remember correctly.
yeah, but it was the PS3 version, not the
Yeah.
PS4 version, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And then the Xbox 360 games are going to be Castle Storm and Sacred 3.
Yep.
And an extra holiday bonus, which is Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising. And what I don't like about the way that they do this is that they stagger their releases throughout
Oh.
the month. And
Hmm.
it's just confusing, like, oh, this week I got to download this one. 2 weeks from now I got to download the other one. Oh, this one runs out not at the end of the month, but halfway through the next. Like, just drop them all on the same day. Just do what PlayStation does.
Hmm.
Because PlayStation used to do that, right?
Yeah.
Way back earlier in the PlayStation Plus service, they would stagger the releases, and it was confusing. Just give everybody on December 1st. Just stop Xbox, stop. It's great that you're giving us all these games, but just stop it, please. Just stop it. Anyway, I don't know how this would compare to PlayStation's lineup because, to be honest, I'm more interested in stuff that's on PlayStation Plus than this. Maybe I'll check out
um,
Thief.
hmm.
The Incredible Adventures of Van Helsing. I hadn't heard about it before, but I've always liked the Universal movie monsters and the whole like Frankenstein, Van Helsing,
Hmm.
Dracula type of stuff. So I don't know if this.
It's a
We need and
gee. Oh, never mind. Ad just started playing right in my head. Sorry about that. Yeah, that was very loud. Van Helsing, it's top down, kind of like Diablo-esque style in the camera.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's twin stick. I have it on PC.
Okay.
It's really good apparently. So that's probably the highlight of the month there for him. Thief, haven't played. A friend of mine at work played through it. He said it was alright. Nothing really special about it.
Yeah, that seemed to be the consensus for a lot of people.
Yeah. Castle Storm, that's another one I know we got on PS3 at one point. I think it's okay, like, kind of castle defense, I believe. Sacred 3 can pretty much go fuck itself. That game is horrible. It is. It's bad. It is
Hmm.
bad.
Wow.
Uh, and as for Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising, I played that briefly. It's one of those like that goes deep into the realistic shooter type
Yeah.
genre. So yeah, don't expect like Call of Duty with that. That is a hardcore shooter. Like
Call of Duty.
yeah, Call of Duty. On
Yeah.
next week's fucking
Yeah, it's kind of an all right lineup for Xbox.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just felt like both these companies could have done more for the holidays. They could have been
Yeah.
like, bam, and impress us with like a big release. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Anyway, I guess everybody's just busy playing all these other new games, so maybe it just would have got lost in the shuffle.
Perhaps.
Maybe
Yeah.
January at the beginning of the year they lead with a bang,
Mm-hmm.
and you
It
get
was-
a DDP
and we-
yoga. Bang! wrestling. We got you guys. DDP Yoga's coming to PlayStation Plus.
Oh my god, what a cross.
Self high five. Oh, Jesus. With the PlayStation camera where they connect.
Oh my god. What was I going to say?
Now I'm just picturing DDP trying to do one of those like Dance Central type of games. Oh man, this is hilarious. And just picture like Scott Hall in the background and Jake the Snake. The Snake Pit.
Oh my. But I was going to say, maybe at PSX, PlayStation's like, surprise, here's more free games, kind of like they did last year with EA.
Oh, that's true.
3 free games.
Surprise! Here's the Final Fantasy VII remake now. For free. Boom. Everybody's head explodes.
Wouldn't be surprised if we got the PC port, though.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that? That just, fell, completely off the radar.
At E3, they were like, yeah, it's not going to make the summer. It's going to make the winter. They're like, okay, whatever you say, Square Enix.
PlayStation VR confirmed.
Jesus.
With all the pixelated graphics. Oh,
I'd play that shit. All right, so I guess we can move into our final news story of the week, one of which I've been dying to talk about. And that news broke this week that Dead or Alive Extreme 3 will not see a Western release. The news comes via the Dead or Alive Facebook page, where a fan asked whether the game will be coming to the US or Europe regions. A representative replied saying, "We do not intend to bring Dead or Alive Extreme 3 to the West and won't have any planned change in the future. Thank you for asking." They went on to say, "Do you know how many issues happening in video game industry with regard to how to treat females in video game industry? We do not want to talk those things here, but certainly we have gone through in last year or two to come to our decision. Thank you." So there you go, folks. Dead or Alive 3 is due in Japan on February 25th, 2016, and for PS4 and PlayStation Vita. And if you are like me, I will be importing that shit because this is so fucking stupid. This enrages me so much.
Get
so
him.
Very
Get
much
him.
So. We are going back to the fucking 90s with this, folks, and I do apologize for the amount of swearing that I'm probably going to be doing here right now, because this genuinely just pisses me off. I had joked before on this podcast about probably importing this and, doing another silly video and whatnot, and if it came to, North America, I probably would have bought it at a discounted cost. But the fact that they're not releasing it over here because they're afraid of the backlash it's going to be causing, because of the fucking social justice warriors out there who may or may not complain about this game because it shows fucking titties and ass and how it demoralizes women. Well, those people have not played a fucking Dead or Alive game. If they have, they would know that they are parody games. Parody games that actually have good volleyball game mechanics, believe it or not. The gameplay is actually really good in these, despite the gravity-defying titties that are flopping around. And I have heard people talking about this now online, discussions going up saying that, it's the devs' decision. They're not releasing it. It's their decision. That's fine. They're not going to do it. It's not because of the social justice warriors that are complaining. Here's the thing. No fucking person has been complaining about this game yet. They're doing it because of that group. Because they know that a small vocal minority, I don't care if it's like Anita Sarkeesian or who fucking else who would complain about the game, they're doing it just because those people do exist. They're doing it because those people do exist. Those people are the ones that are stopping this game from coming out anyway. Yes, they haven't said anything yet, but they're still the ones to blame. This is the year 2015. we should be over this shit by now. We should, accept anything. God damn it, if people want to play a volleyball game with titties flopping around, yes, give it to them. Put it next to Batman or The Witcher or anything else. It's going to sell to that audience. You don't have to buy it, but they can. This annoys me so much. I can look at a game like The Witcher 3, and you can say, yes, it has awesome gameplay, it has awesome graphics, it tells a wonderful story. You know what else is included in that game? Corpus amounts of fucking. It's everywhere in that game. Tits everywhere. Is anybody complaining about it? No. But, dead or alive, they're in bikinis having fun at a resort that is apparently deserted with nobody else there. That's bad. That's wrong. That is demoralizing people. Guess what? It's not. I am importing this game now with the sole purpose of slapping this backlash. PlayAsia.com, they tweeted out something along the lines of, Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is not coming to the West because of social justice warrior bullshit. And you know what? That's true. It's not because of that. So I'm going to support the game. I am going to import it. I don't care if it ends up costing me. I think I was looking at it. It's about $96 before shipping and such.
Jeez.
It's probably going to cost me about $130 to get this game now. I'm going to do that. It has English subtitles. I can play the fucking game. There will be guides online to help me through it. But it doesn't matter. I am buying this game now on the sole purpose that I believe this is bullshit. This is taking us back to the 1990s where silly shit was censored. Like the Stone Age chick in Chrono Trigger back in the day. In the Japanese version, and I think the European version as well, it was hinted at that she was bisexual. In the American version, that was taken out. That line of dialogue was taken out, replaced with something else. I can't remember now. And so was something else about her talking about breastfeeding a child. That was taken out completely. Idiotic stuff. And we've seen censors, in the old Castlevania games, statues were covered up and stuff like that, and crosses were censored. It's insane silly. I'm actually glad now that we actually got Bayonetta before this bullshit has ramped up recently, because if that game came out now, if it actually came out now, we'd probably be playing the game with just one big black bar covering Bayonetta the entire fucking time, because apparently you can't show anything anymore.
Yeah, this has been happening a lot lately. I believe a few weeks ago we talked about the censorship in Street Fighter V with the butt slap and the poses from Cammy and Armika, and then it happened with Xenoblade Chronicles, which is understandable in that case because of the cultural differences and dressing up what looked like a child. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, but this just not releasing the game, they're gonna make so much money off. PlayAsia is gonna make so much money.
Oh yes.
People buying this, and then all those people in the media, who are ex video game industry, what would you call it? I guess journalists or whatever the term may be, but going against this game, and it's come on, guys. Maybe it's an age gap thing, because those guys, to be honest, are probably in their 40s, because they've been in the game industry so long. So maybe they're just tired of seeing women portrayed in this, which I can understand. But it's come on, guys, this is just a game.
Yeah, exactly.
It hurts nobody. It's not it's child porn.
Yeah, and that's another thing. People are saying, oh, now people are upset because they're not getting their softcore porn game. There's free porn on the internet anyway. It's fucking shut up. Like, come on. This is a parody game. If you've ever played any Dead or Alive game and you see how the physics actually work into them, yes, I'm sure somebody's jacking off to it somewhere, but come on. There's people jacking off to, like, I don't know, Batman's armor in Arkham Knight. Yeah, exactly.
Anything. Everybody has... There's a fetish for everything. That's the best way to put it, you know?
Exactly.
I don't know. It's going to backfire with all those people that are against this game coming out here. It won't come stateside, but now this has gotten so much exposure for Koei Tecmo that's incredible, because this game wasn't really on my radar, to be honest. Like, I knew about it, and I knew it was coming out in Japan soon, but this has just blown up within the last week.
Yep. Oh man, if they are smart and they like stealth release it as like a digital only thing,
yeah,
that would be incredible.
Mm-hmm. And it's fine. Like, you could still. That's a good thing at least about the PS4. It's region free, so you're gonna spend money out the butt to get it, but
you can still
still get it at least, and you could get at least an English version, which is going to be released in Asia, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Yeah, it's going to have English subtitles, so...
Yeah, so that's not too bad. So at least you have access to the game. But yeah, these things are getting blown way out of proportion. Like, there's more important things to worry about in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Besides a Dead or Alive game. Mm-hmm. Dead or Alive, a volleyball game. Like, there's more important things that you could put all your energy to, like...
Yeah. Not to like demean it or anything else, or to make fun of it, but look at what happened in Paris there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, like
focus more on stuff like that and helping, society, helping the world. Don't like put your focus into like just silly games that only a handful of people are actually going to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't ruin something for
somebody else. Why don't they do
else.
Dead or Alive, like extreme beach volleyball with all the dudes in the game? Like a version of that, and be like, here guys, we made the same version with dudes in it, so you guys don't have to complain anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think everybody has become overly sensitive, overly politically correct.
Yeah.
Which is, I can understand being... It's weird. It's like South Park has just covered this, which is, within this season, it's like people are so politically correct that they don't even know what they're talking about. Like,
yeah,
like the guy on South Park, like he's PC, and he doesn't even care what actually the people who he's trying to defend, like he doesn't even know them. He doesn't understand them. He doesn't understand their history, their culture. Like, it's just people being PC, and now they're the bullies. Like, we went from people from some people being bullied to those people like protecting other people becoming the bullies. Like, it's like the script is flipped. Like, anyway, let's get off this because I don't want to get into like a political tirade or anything. Closing thoughts, people are becoming way too politically correct. Like, like you can't make any jokes. Like, jokes are there for a reason. That's to relieve stress and let's just move on.
Yeah. And in closing, I will say as well, I do apologize if I did offend anybody, but just my opinion. That's all it is. All right, so let us move into our topic of the week.
Funny, you go to play Asia, the first thing you see is Dead or Alive. I just thought they got a collector's edition. Oh, shoot.
Yep. If that wasn't as expensive, I'd probably pre-order that.
Dead or Alive multi-language, works on all systems. Look at those graphics.
To be honest, they're not even that good.
Yeah, they aren't.
The character models are, but everything else isn't.
Jesus Christ.
All right,
so anyway.
Topic of the week. All right, we got a two-parter, like I said at the beginning. First, we're going to talk about the Game Awards 2015. They had a pretty good show last year, and I'm interested to watch the one this year. Of course, can't even remember the date now. December 3rd, sorry. This will be done. We're going to run through I think the list of categories and talk about the nominees. I think that'll be great. Talk about, out of what they've chosen, who we think should win and who's probably going to win.
Yeah.
All right, so let us begin with the big one. Game of the Year.
Let me open this one up.
Okay.
There we go.
And the nominees are Bloodborne, Fallout 4, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Super Mario Maker, and The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. So, Izzy, who do you think's going to win on this one? I'm sorry, who do you think what's your pick out of this list?
My pick? Wow, this is hard.
It's a tough year.
It's between Metal Gear and Witcher for me, but I haven't completed either. But from what I've played, this is tough. I'm going to go with Metal Gear just because the gameplay, I believe, is a lot more fluid, a lot more dynamic in Metal Gear Solid than it is in The Witcher. At least in my opinion. I had more fun with the actual gameplay in Metal Gear, whereas the Witcher was more about the story. Like the combat was a little off for me. Mm-hmm. But I see Fallout winning, to be honest. I'd be surprised if Bloodborne won. Like, that's gotten tremendous critical acclaim this year, but it hasn't been like all these games kind of had their moment, whereas Bloodborne, it really didn't, to be honest. Like, it came out and it was a success. It was a critical darling, but I don't hear too many people, like, when Metal Gear came out, that's just what everybody was talking about. Like, nobody would shut up about Metal Gear. Same thing with Fallout. We're still going through that with Fallout right now. Yeah. Same with The Witcher. Like, that came out in May, and people were talking about it throughout the summer. Mario Maker, it has a very big following online with the Nintendo community. Personally, I wouldn't even put that here on the list. But that's just my opinion. But I see Fallout winning. How about you? What's your pick, and who do you see winning this category?
My pick, well, I haven't played Metal Gear, and The Witcher never hooked me, so those two are out of it for me right away. So between Super Mario Maker, Fallout 4, and Bloodborne, right now, because I haven't really gone... I've done a lot in Fallout 4, but I haven't gone the distance yet. I think Bloodborne out of these would win it for me personally. Mm-hmm. Out of who I think is going to win it, I'm betting on Metal Gear Solid, to be honest.
Really?
With you. I think it's going to win it. Like, Fallout 4 has done a lot, and a lot of people love it. But I think people really, really appreciated where Metal Gear Solid 5 went to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Metal Gear Solid's going to win it.
Yeah, I could see that, because Fallout, from 3 to 4, it was more of an evolution, whereas, like, Metal Gear was kind of sort of a revolution, because the previous games, well, Peace Walker was there, but in terms of the console experiences, they were very different. They were very linear, very story-driven. It definitely was like a different direction for the Metal Gear series.
Yeah. Fallout, it's more of the same.
Yeah, it's
but better.
Yeah, it's an evolution. Not. Yeah, more of the same. That's the best way to put it.
Yep. So why don't you lead us into the next one?
Are we gonna go side to side or down? Like, are we gonna go to best independent game next or developer of the year?
I'll let you choose.
All right, let me see how this was best work. Yeah, let's go side to side, because if we go down, then we have to go back up again.
Okay.
So yeah, the next category here is developer of the year. We have Bethesda Game Studios. Of course, they released Fallout 4. CD
Hmm.
Projekt Red released The Witcher 3. From Software released Bloodborne.
I'm starting to get a trend here.
Yeah, these sound familiar. Kojima Productions released Metal Gear Solid 5. Nintendo released Super Mario Maker. So it just makes sense for the developers of the year to be the games that were
Hmm.
nominated for Game of the Year, which makes sense because I've seen this category in particular over the years. It kind of didn't make sense some years, to be honest. Like they would have developers
Hmm.
that didn't even release like
Yeah.
a huge game that year, or it was just like a port or a re-release. Like,
Hmm.
but uh, yeah, that's just to spite Konami, Kojima Productions.
I love that. I
I would
love that
love to win
so
them,
much.
and I would see them winning because I know Jeff Keighley is like super tight with Hideo Kojima.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna go with Kojima, both of them, both who's gonna win.
Who
It
you want to
just
hear?
in the industry, like they're gonna give him praise because this is the last game that they'll ever make. This team has disbanded now,
Yep.
and just the whole situation with Konami, just to spite them,
Hmm.
let's give it to Kojima Productions.
I'm looking at the list here, and the one thing like I actually do find amusing here is that four of the five of these
Hmm.
only released one game this year. From Software 2,
Yeah,
if you count the re-release of
Dark Souls.
Dark Souls 2. Nintendo, on the other hand, did put out a few good quality
That's
titles this
true. They
year.
had Splatoon and they had, as far as what I really enjoyed, Splatoon. I know a
Hmm.
lot of people enjoyed Super Mario Maker,
Yep.
but at the same time, they dropped the turds that were Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival
Hmm.
and the Mario Tennis game, which have gotten horrendous reviews, and
Yep.
Fatal Frame and Devil's Turd, which isn't out yet. But they didn't develop that game, so in terms
Yep.
of the internal studio stuff, it's been kind of a mixed bag this year, to be honest. So
That is true, yeah. For me personally, who I think should win and who is going to win, for me it comes down to Bethesda and CD Projekt Red, to be quite honest with you.
just because what they did, like Bethesda, they announced the game and then they released it. Like
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
awesome. And then CD Projekt Red just came out of nowhere and they were
Yep.
like, boom, Witcher 3, we're here. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, for both of them, and the fact that like they took time and put an extreme amount of work into their games.
yeah.
Bef- like Bethesda, even before they announced it, they had done so much, so many years of production. CD Projekt Red, we knew about The Witcher 3 for quite some time before its release, and it had a few delays along the way. But still, the amount of work that was put into it, not to like discredit From Software for Bloodborne, I'm sure it was in development for quite some time, not as
Yeah.
much time as those last two.
No.
Metal Gear Solid 5, again, the same thing. Though, even though, yes, it is hashtag fuck Konami's fault, but from what I've heard from friends and what I've read, the ending and everything was cut off.
Yeah.
So I think that kind of discredits like
Yeah,
them from it.
I see.
That's going against what I just said for the game of the year
Yeah,
too. But
yeah.
still, for me personally, I think I have to give it to Bethesda, just the way they released the game, announced the game and released it and such.
They did a really fine job too. Like they didn't spoil stuff. They
Yeah,
kept it very mysterious in terms of what actually was in the game. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, maybe it was, just more Fallout 3. So maybe that's
yep,
why they decided to keep it on the wraps. But
yep. For them, I think
uh,
I'd give it, as well as some of the other stuff they put out. From I know, the Old Blood was really good. Even though it's not developed, they published that, but they did good on the publishing side of things as well.
yeah,
So yeah, I think personally I'd have to give it to Bethesda. Who's going to win it? Yeah, I'm going to double down. I'm going to say Bethesda as well.
gotcha.
All right, so we can move on now to Best Independent Game. And on the list, we have Axiom Verge by Tom Happ. Her Story by Sam Barlow. Ori and the Blind Forest from Moon Studios. Rocket League from Psyonix. And Undertale from Toby Fox. Out of these, I have only played Rocket League, and it was fucking awesome.
Same here. I guess we're in agreement. Rocket League for our picks, right?
Yep.
And
for who's going to win it? This is tough because all of these have been incredible, from what I know.
Mm-hmm.
Like Rocket League, it came out of, well, not nowhere, but it stole the scene when it came on. It became an esports game almost immediately. People fucking love this game so much. Undertale, from what I know, is an incredible RPG game where you don't have to kill anything. I want to play it. It was a game I forgot to mention last week that I do want to play and finish before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably going to pick it up soon just to play it because it seems like something right up my alley. Ori and the Blind Forest, I know lots of people have loved that game. Her Story as well, from what I know, is an excellent game. And Axiom Verge, Nick Scarpino over on Kinda Funny can't shut up about it, and if he loves a game that much, you know it's probably damn good.
Yeah.
So, who's going to win it?
Shut Screw them all. It wins again. What won it last year? Was it Shovel Knight?
I can't remember.
Better be Shovel Knight. I'm going to go slap Jeff Keighley in his face. Just kidding, Jeff.
This is a tough one, but I'll go out on a limb. I'm going to say Her Story is going to win.
I was thinking that one too, to be honest. I don't know. For whatever reason. I'd pick Rocket League, like I said, but yeah, I go with Her Story too.
Okay.
All right, next thing we have here is Boast. What? Talk about Boost Mobile? That's what I was about to say. Best mobile / handheld game. We have Downwell from Moppin. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Fallout Shelter from Bethesda Game Studios. Lara Croft Go from Square Enix Montreal. Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate from Capcom. Pac-Man 256 from Hipster Whale. It's a pretty damn cool name. I haven't played any of these.
Man, what a disappointing for actual handheld games this year. Just Monster Hunter?
Like, that's really strange that there wasn't... What else came out on the Vita? Like, what, the Danganronpa, that was another episode? It wasn't like one of the main games,
fuck!
Right?
God damn it, Jeff Keighley. Where's Danganronpa?
Then
Hashtag
I'm
where's
trying to think,
Danganronpa?
there has to be something else that came out on Vita this year. There has to be. Maybe it was just a bunch of indie games that were available on other platforms. That might be it.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then in terms of the 2DS, 3DS...
But if we're going that route, Downwell, that came out on PC as well.
Yeah, that's strange. I don't know, and it's weird that they don't have the Majora's Mask remake on here. Like, you would think that would be on here.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Fallout Shelter for both in terms of what pick I would pick and then what they're going to pick, because everybody was talking about this. Like, people would not shut up. Like, this was excellent for Bethesda to put out. Like, it just got people really invested in the world of Fallout. So yeah,
I did play it myself.
yeah, I never played it either, but I just see it. I see that, like, that's gonna be the one that they pick.
All right. As for me, who I want to win, I'm going to say Monster Hunter 4 because god damn it, console games are better than mobile games. As for who's going to win, yeah, I agree with you. Fallout Shelter.
Yeah. All right. I guess we're getting through these pretty quickly. There's a lot. I just realized there's a ton of categories. Jesus. 5 hours later.
It's going to be a long episode. Rants and 2 big topics of the week.
Jesus.
Okay, best narrative. We have Her Story, Life is Strange, Tales from the Borderlands, The Witcher 3, and Until Dawn.
I know that's a tough one for you because...
Oh
There's a
my,
lot. That's a tough one.
three of these
Uh,
games are competing in my top 5 at the moment. So yeah, it's difficult for me. Witcher 3, get the
yeah.
fuck out of here.
I'm going with The Witcher 3. That's
Her
my pick.
Her Story I haven't played, so for me it comes down to Life is Strange, Tales from the Borderlands, and Until Dawn, and fuck, this is hard. Until Dawn surprised the hell out of me. Tales from the Borderlands was probably one of the funniest games I played all year, and Life is Strange was hashtag emotions.
Yeah.
That was like probably the most emotional game I played this year. Oh fuck.
I'm going with The Witcher.
Personally, I'm
For both, I think, to be honest, like The Witcher 3, just personally, because just the Bloody Baron's quest, like that was enough for me in the game. Like that's not even that far into the game, but how incredible they told that story and all the little weaves between the narratives and the relationships between the Baron and his wife, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but and that whole situation, but yeah, that was really incredible. And I never even completed the game, but I felt like I got my money's worth just by playing that damn quest because it was so dynamic, so interesting. Until Dawn, I still haven't finished, so I really can't comment on that, especially since that's like Witcher I could comment because at least I got through that whole narrative thread, but Until Dawn, I haven't finished. I think I'm somewhere between like halfway or two-thirds through the game, something like that. Um, I haven't played the other ones, so I really have no comment on that. So I'm going to go with The Witcher for both of them.
Okay. Who I think will win will probably be The Witcher 3 as well. I agree with you. Who I think should win? This is honestly really difficult. For now, because it did surprise me out of left field, I'm going to go with Until Dawn. Like, from Tales from the Borderlands, I kind of knew like how it was going to go from the first episode onwards. Same thing with Life is Strange. But for a game that like I had little interest in, and it honestly is competing in my top 3 at the moment for Game of the Year, yeah, I've got to give it to Until Dawn. But if Jeff Keighley had a brain in his head, it would be going to Danganronpa.
All right, so what's the next one here on our list? It is Best Score / Soundtrack. We have Fallout 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Trying to think what stood out the most for me out of these.
Well, you think I can comment on this
Okay.
one very easily. Halo 5, haven't played it, haven't listened to anything. Metal Gear Solid, haven't played it, haven't listened to anything. Ori and the Blind Forest, haven't played it, haven't listened to anything. Witcher 3, from what I did play, pretty good music, I'll admit. It did have good music.
Yeah, it didn't stand out though. Like it wasn't like, oh man, like listen to this music. Like it was good, but I don't know.
Fallout 4, the original soundtrack from what I've experienced so far has been beautiful, and the songs on the radio are those classic old-timey type songs, so I fucking love that. So my personal pick is going to Fallout 4, and I'm going to double down. I'm going to say they're going to pick Fallout 4 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Geez, I just closed the window and I went blank for for a second. I'm gonna go with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, because I love the score. Plus, I love all the licensed music that you pick up from cassette tapes, all the 80s music. So just for that reason, just for listening to Billy Idol while you're taking down and infiltrating an enemy base, it's just incredible. And having that on your helicopter coming in, John Cena music, like all that stuff, like just how that's implemented into the game. I'm gonna give it to Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, and I don't know who's gonna win. Maybe for the same reasons I could see people picking Metal Gear Solid 5. Halo, from what I played, the soundtrack is good. It's more of the same from Halo 4, which I really enjoyed the soundtrack. But yeah, I'm not sure who's gonna win. If I had to say, I'd go with Fallout.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right, so we can move on to the next one, which is Best Performance in a Video Game. And the nominees for this one are Ashley Birch as Chloe Price in Life is Strange, Camilla Liddington as Laura Croft in Rise of the Tomb Raider, Cockle? Doug Cockle? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, as Geralt, The Witcher 3, which, by the way, just looking at him, get him to play The Witcher in the movie version, because he looks exactly like him.
Let's get him jacked.
Yeah, pretty much. Give him some steroids. Mark Hamill as the Joker. In
Spoiler.
Batman Arkham Knight.
Spoiler, guys.
Yeah, no kidding. So if you haven't played the game by now, fucking get on that shit. And Viva Savit in Her Story. I guess the character was nameless, probably, or she played herself, maybe. Well, it is straight up video footage in that game. From what I have played, I honestly don't think Mark Hamill should be included here. There were other performances that probably should have been included more so than him. He's done this 2 times already now, so yes, he was great again, but I don't think he should have been included. Personally, I'm going to give it to Ashley Birch as Chloe Price. I think she did a phenomenal job. A lot of people didn't like her character. I did. Spoiler alert, my final choice in the game leaned towards her instead of something else. So yeah, I'm personally giving it to her. Who's going to win it? I'm going to say Vivia, honestly. I think she's going to get it.
Interesting. This is hard because I've only played 2 of these games. I still haven't played Tomb Raider yet. I'm sure Camilla does a fantastic job. She does look fantastic. Haven't played Life is Strange. Haven't played Her Story. Just for the hell of it, I'd go Mark Hamill just because I love Mark Hamill. I love the Joker. I love his rendition of it. He was super entertaining in Arkham Knight. Spoilers. He was just so entertaining, and all the delusional scenes with him and Batman and the way they crafted that narrative was really good. So I'd go with Mark Hamill. I don't think he's gonna win. I think they probably will pick Doug, and not do 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 do. He walks up on stage, Doug from Nickelodeon. Skeeter comes by on a skateboard. Pork chop. Oh man, that's great. I want to watch Doug now, but yeah, I think they might go for Doug.
Well, let's hope they go with his first name and do that, not his last name.
The cockle. Yeah, I don't know. This is a throw up for me, either Mark Hamill or Doug. In terms of who they pick, my pick is Mark Hamill because Geralt, I thought he did a fine job, but I don't have the connection that I do to Mark Hamill, to be honest, because this is the 3rd game he's been in, whereas this is really the first Witcher game that I got into. So, yeah, I'll go with Mark Hamill.
All right, cool.
So, next one is me. Games for Impact. What is this, like a TNA sponsorship? I guess this is...
They probably need it.
Is this about like the... I don't understand this category, I guess, in terms of like its narrative, like, but we already discussed best narrative, like emotional...
Yeah, doing something different, I think, and changing things up a bit, like with Undertale. Spoilers, it's a nominee, where you could play through the entire game killing everything, or not killing everything. Like, there's a pacifist run or a genocide run in that game.
Interesting. This is completely up in the air, because I have no connections to any of these games. I haven't played them. One from the other, like, I've seen the reception for Life is Strange has been all over the place. Like, I know you loved it. I know some other people loved it, and I know some people who just absolutely hated it.
Yep.
So this category is really up in the air. I really can't comment in terms of what my personal pick is because I haven't played any of these.
Hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe her story wins just because that keeps coming up as a nominee, right?
hmm Yep.
Um,
Uh, I never even heard of two of these. Like, we never even went through the nominees. Sibel, Her
oh
Story,
snap!
Life is Strange, Sunset, and
Crap!
Undertale.
Whoops! Whoops! I messed up.
So yeah, I've never heard of Sibel or Sunset. Those are completely foreign to me. Uh, who I'd like to win? I've only played Life is Strange, so that's the only one I can say I'd like to see win. Who I think is going to win? I think Undertale's got this one.
hmm Yeah, I'm not sure about this. I guess we'll move. As Officer
Yep.
Barber, he says, "Move along, move along."
All right. So going into the next category, Best
Finally, I've played
Shooter.
all of these.
We have Call of Duty Black Ops 3, Destiny, The Taken King. Get the fuck out of here. That's just an expansion, not a new game. You're not even nominated. Get away. Halo 5 Guardians, Splatoon. That's right. Nintendo has a nominee in the Best Shooter category. And Star Wars Battlefront. Who do I want to see win? Splatoon, because I'd love to see Nintendo take a Best Shooter category.
I'm with you there.
And who do I think is going to win? Battlefront.
I don't know. This is hard for me. Like, yeah, it's between Splatoon and Star Wars. It's hard, man. Like, it's so hard. It sounds so sexual. Because Splatoon was so unique, so fantastic, and it had a single player, and the single player level design was incredible. Whereas Star Wars Battlefront, like it just captures the essence of Star Wars. Um, I'm gonna go with Splatoon for both of them. I'm gonna go with Splatoon for what is my personal pick and what they're gonna pick. I think they might, kind of surprise people and throw people off guard that Nintendo wins the best shooter because they had out of all of these, it's the most creative one, to be
Definitely.
honest. Let's
All right.
see. Best action adventure game, and this time I'll read the nominees. Let's see. We have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. We have Batman Arkham Knight, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's kind of strange that some of these
Okay.
really...
I just want to say this. You take the main character from each of these games, either or the Assassins, Batman, Snake, or Big Boss, sorry, Laura, and Ori, and you put them into a fight to the death. Poor Ori.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Ori.
That is so weird that game got put in
Why'd they
this
put his
category.
action adventure? Isn't that... That's like a Metroidvania platformer, right? If I'm not mistaken. Ori and the
Yep.
Blind Forest. It just feels strange. Like Rise of the Tomb Raider, get it. Assassin's Creed, get it. Batman, get it. Metal Gear, get it. Ori just kind of sticks out. Um, wow, this is tough for me.
Well, as for me, I think
Yeah.
Batman's going to win it. That's the only one I've played out of this bunch. Who do I think is going to win it?
Metal Gear.
Yeah, Metal Gear.
Yeah, I think Metal Gear is going to win it. I would surprisingly pick Batman because I finished that and it's like the conclusion of the trilogy. I had a really great time with it. There was some issues like the tank missions, but that didn't bother me nearly as much as everybody else. But yeah, I guess we can move on to the next category here, which is in your ballpark.
Yep, best role-playing game, in which I honestly...
No
There's only...
NIS? No NIS or Idea Factory? Blasphemy.
Yes, fuck. Where's Disgaea? Where's Tales of Zestiria? Where's Omega Quintet? Yeah, Bloodborne, I guess it's an RPG. Fallout 4, it has RPG elements. Pillars of Eternity, I haven't played. I think that is closer to an RPG game, so I won't diss it. It's more in the Diablo type style game.
Diablo.
Witcher 3, it's action RPG. Undertale, that's an RPG from what I have seen of it, so it's a unique one.
Mm-hmm.
What I would pick out of this list, for me it comes down to Bloodborne and Fallout 4,
Mm-hmm.
but neither one of them are technically an RPG in my opinion. Fallout's more of a shooter with RPG elements into it, and Bloodborne, I guess the same way. It's an action adventure with RPG elements into it.
I'm going Witcher for both of them. My pick would be Witcher, and then I think Witcher is going to win.
Yeah, I think Witcher is going to win. As for my personal preference, again, tough decision. I'm bouncing back and forth between these games in my top 10 list. Bloodborne's really high up there right now, so as of this moment, I'd give it to Bloodborne personally.
Mm-hmm. All right, next category here we have Best Fighting Game, which only has 4 entries, which really only 2 of them I recognize, to be completely honest. The nominees, I was about to say the category, nominees are Guilty Gear Xrd Sign, or I don't know, Cross RD, I don't know how to say that.
Japan!
Yeah, I got him. Mortal Kombat X, Rise of Incarnates, Rising Thunder. I don't know these other 2 games.
Not a good year for fighting games.
Yeah, this is really off. Yeah, that kind of stinks.
Oh well.
Mortal Kombat for both? It's kind of the only, I guess it's Guilty Gear is super niche.
Yep.
It
might have a chance though for winning.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous. The art style is incredible, and they are 3D models that look like 2D animation, which is super impressive. But Mortal Kombat did gangbusters. It sold super well. It reviewed very well. Personally, I enjoyed the previous one more than this one, but it was a good game from what I played. So I'm gonna go with Mortal Kombat X for both, winning. Being chosen as a winner, and my personal pick.
Okay, so we move on to the next one, which is Best Family Game. And in this we have Disney Infinity 3.0, Lego Dimensions, both of which, and Skylanders Superchargers.
Jesus.
The games that parents, wallets bleed for, and our own in regards to Lego Dimensions. Splatoon and Super Mario Maker. Personal preference for me, it comes down to Lego Dimensions and Super Mario Maker. I'd honestly give it to Lego Dimensions. I love that game. I think it's awesome, it's fun, it's unique, and it stands out from the other Toys to Life game in my opinion.
Nope.
Super Mario.
Nope. Fucking Lego Jurassic World, really?
Damn
it.
It's included.
Damn it. That's my...
As for who's going to win out of this list,
you're a kid.
Honestly,
squid.
I think it's going.
You're a squid. No.
Honestly, I think it is going to come down between Splatoon and Super Mario Maker, and I think Super Mario Maker is going to win this one.
Yeah, I could see that. I pick Splatoon for both. I'm hoping Splatoon just comes out because that game was really refreshing. Really, something really, new. It was a new IP. You got to remember that. It's a new IP from Nintendo, which we're always complaining about. I'm going to go both. I think they're going to pick Splatoon, but I could see why they would pick Mario Maker just because of the level creator and sharing and all that. But yeah, I guess that wraps it up for that category. Next one we have here is one that we personally don't care about, and it's
I don't know.
Well, there's one game in here that we do, but it's weird that they lump these together. Best sports / racing game. Why? Why? Maybe because, some racing games are sports games, but I don't know. Maybe it's kind of weird. But yeah, I guess we could both say it. Rocket League. Like,
Yep. And the other nominees are FIFA 16,
damn it, I
Forza
did it again.
Motorsport 6, NBA 2K16, and Pro Evolution Soccer 2016. Hashtag fuck Konami.
And WWE 2K. No.
Where the
Oh
fuck is
hell yeah!
NHL?
I don't know. It's
Seriously.
weird. That's why they should have done two separate categories. Like
Yeah.
they could have done racing game. They got Forza. They got the Crew like expansion. They got Need for Speed.
Drive Club.
They got, I guess, the Drive Club bikes. Like they could have put that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Weird. Really weird. But yeah, Rocket League. Let's go Rocket
Yep.
League.
Yeah, Rocket League for both, I agree. All right, best multiplayer. Another one we honestly don't really care about that much. We have Black Ops 3, Destiny the Taken King. Get the fuck out of here. You're not an actual game. You're an expansion. Halo 5 Guardians, Rocket League, and Splatoon. I'm giving it both to... I'm going personal pick. I'm going to give it to Rocket League because that's the only one I've played. Who's going to win it? Splatoon.
Yeah, I'm going Splatoon for both. I really enjoyed the multiplayer in that, and it's just like I'm saying the same thing over and over. It's refreshing. It was really refreshing. Okay. Best art direction is the next category. I'll read the nominees. Batman Arkham Knight, Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, Ori and the Blind Forest, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, all stunning looking games, to be honest.
Yep.
Notice they didn't put Halo 5 in this. Or Fallout, because that has, in terms of the graphics, it's not that great. But
it has its moments.
yeah, it definitely does have its moments. To be honest, it's kind of hard for me to pick. I'd probably go Batman in terms of my personal pick, but I could see Bloodborne being picked as the winner because I haven't played it, but just from the screenshots and footage that I've seen, like it's really striking, like the gothic, art style that they went for. Like it looks super intriguing to me. Maybe when I finally play, I just get pissed off and break my controller. But in terms of its aesthetics, like it looks incredible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bloodborne gets it both from me, my personal pick and who I think is going to win.
Mm-hmm. Batman. All right, the fans' choice section now, which is what we vote on, I guess, right?
Yep, that's right. All right, we got Esports Game of the Year, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. What? Okay. All right. Counter-Strike Global Offensive, because that came out this year.
Yeah.
Dota 2, because that came out this year. Hearthstone, because that came out this year. And League of Legends, because that came out this year.
That's weird. What? If they're putting all these old games on here, why didn't they throw on, like, Street Fighter or something? Like, that's huge. Like, there's a whole convention for EVO. Like, no fighting games on here? That's really weird.
Yep. Personal pick. I could care less about any of these games, but I'll give it the Hearthstone because that's the only one that I'd be even remotely interested in playing. Who's going to win it? Hearthstone.
I'm completely forego this category. I have no opinion whatsoever. No personal picks. Though I have no idea. Idea. I think probably the Dota fan base is like massive. So is the same for League of Legends. One of those two is gonna win. Let's keep it moving. Best fan creation. We have the GTA 5 Targets video by Hoodoo Operator, the Portal Stories Mel, or MEL. I don't know if that's like an acronym.
It's Mel.
Okay.
It's Mel.
By Prism Studios, Real GTA by Corridor Digital, Twitch Plays Dark Souls by the Twitch community. I'm surprised they don't have Twitch Plays Pokemon. Was that last year or was that this year?
They did one again this year, but yeah, that's an older one. Personal preference, I'm giving it to Twitch Plays Dark Souls. Yeah. Because, come on, they actually beat the fucking game, which blows my mind.
Yeah, I'm going with that. Like, there's no competition. Like, that game...
Though I would say Portal Stories Mel, that got a lot of good reception. That was a mod that was done extremely well.
But yeah, when you compare it to, they beat Dark Souls. Come on.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, into Trending Gamer. We have Christopher Monte Cristo McKells, Greg Miller, and Greg Miller's Ego, Markiplier, PewDiePie, and Total Biscuit.
PewDiePie. Oh man, that's funny. You know what we're gonna pick. We're gonna pick Greg. Well, I know you'll pick probably Total Biscuit.
Yeah, I voted for TV.
No Jim Sterling.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Really, that's a major overlook. I guess they probably couldn't fit him in the list. Get Christopher, whoever the hell, out of here and put Jim Sterling there. I'm going for Greg Miller. In terms of who's gonna win, the biggest audience is PewDiePie. I don't know if he's promoted this on his YouTube or not, or if he cares or not. I know he was on the Game Awards a few years ago promoting Dying Light. I remember that.
Though, that being said, he was nominated last year, and Total Biscuit still beat him. So
I could see Greg winning it too. The Kind of Funny community is pretty damn big, and they're really, really active. So who knows, right? All right, moving forward, another category that I have no idea. Esports Team of the Year. Yeah. Evil Geniuses, Fnatic, Optic Gaming, SK Telecom T1, Team Solomid. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, we can probably skip over that one and Esports Player of the Year.
Yeah, we have no idea about that, so I guess you could hop into... Oh, I was about to throw my keyboard because for a second there I thought they didn't have that game. I was about to...
All right. Most anticipated game. On this list we have Horizon Zero Dawn, No Man's Sky, Quantum Break, The Last Guardian, and Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. Now let me just make a note here of something. PlayStation game, Xbox One game, yeah. PlayStation exclusive. We have 3 PlayStation exclusives, 1 PlayStation console exclusive that's also coming to PC, and 1 Xbox One game.
Poor Xbox. What does Xbox have besides Quantum Break next year? They have Crackdown and Crickets.
Gears?
Oh, that's true. I'm surprised that's not on here. That's a big franchise. I guess they just couldn't fit it, and we don't know much about it at this point, to be honest. So.
Yep. I know your pick for this
one. Of course, Quantum Break. No. I'm actually excited. You know, it's funny. I'm excited for all of it. To be honest, probably... Okay, let me just say my pick. Obvious. Uncharted 4 at Thief's End. Both. I could see Last Guardian winning, but who cares at this point? Like, I'm sorry. I know there's fans out there, but it's kind of like... It's crazy. Quantum Break, I loved Alan Wake. I really like the original Max Payne by Remedy. So that'd probably be like second for me. Horizon Zero Dawn looks incredible. Like I saw that live demo that I told you about at the PlayStation event, so that looks incredible. No Man's Sky. I'm really losing. Well, I was never really high on it. I was very skeptical since the beginning. Like, I don't know if this game's going to deliver or not. I think it's going to come out and it's going to do great, like, commercially, because there's so much hype behind it, but I think it's going to kind of fall flat on its face. I'm calling it now, but maybe I'll be wrong. Hashtag Izzy was wrong. But what's your pick? Because I know you're a big PlayStation gamer too, so you have, 4 games to pick from.
Yep. I am excited for Horizon Zero Dawn. No Man's Sky, if you asked me a year ago, that would have been my pick. I am still really excited for that game. It will be a day one purchase for me, for sure. And up until Sony's E3 press conference, I would have said Uncharted 4, but my pick is going to The Last Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everything I've seen for Uncharted 4 is amazing. I cannot wait to play that game. It's going to be incredible to continue that story and whatnot. However, out of these games that are here this year, just watching the trailer, The Last Guardian is the only one that made me cry. Like, I was so happy to see that game officially be brought back into the spotlight. So, yeah, over the top, I am excited for The Last Guardian. I am praying and hoping the collector's edition actually gets released here in Canada with a statue.
Oh, they have one?
I think it was like kind of leaked beforehand, but yeah, if they do one, that will be like day one purchase. Everything else can get the fuck out of the way for The Last Guardian, in my opinion. I have been waiting for this game for 10 fucking years, so of course it is my most anticipated. Who do I think is going to win?
That's
Probably
hard.
Uncharted.
I might go. Yeah, it's hard. That's hard because everybody's so hyped about No Man's Sky. I'm still really skeptical about it. I'm hoping it's PSVR. If it's PSVR, then it's gonna jump up super. I don't know. I still don't like. It's interesting because Horizon Zero Dawn, we know Guerrilla, but we know them for Killzone, so it's kind of really intriguing to see what they're gonna do, right?
Mm-hmm.
No Man's Sky, Hello Games, known for Joe Danger. Like, this is completely different from what they've done in the past. Massive. Quantum Break seems like an evolution of what they've done in the past with Alan Wake, but I'm still intrigued to see how they implement like the TV show aspect to it, right? The live action stuff. The Last Guardian, I really don't know how it's going to play. I really hope it controls better than Shadow of the Colossus. Like, I know that game is very highly regarded, but it definitely has some control issues. I really hope it's more streamlined and not a pain to move your character. But Uncharted 4 is also very intriguing with the whole fallout with Amy Hennig and the way they restarted this game and everything that's going on. This is Nate's last adventure. Like, there's so much, like...
Mm-hmm.
And it could go to any of these, to be honest.
Yep.
It's crazy though. There's only one Xbox game. Wait a second. Zelda's not on here.
Well, it's not coming out in 2016.
Yeah. Wow, really? This is very. Now it just hit me. I'm like, where's Nintendo on this list? Like,
well, I'd probably replace Quantum Break with Zelda.
Yeah,
to be quite honest.
Same here. Because I think for the very, very hardcore Xbox audience, Quantum Break is one. But in terms of like the more like commercial, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall, I think Zelda is like more on people's radar.
To be honest, Zelda would probably be my most anticipated if it was on this list. And that's crazy for me to say, being a huge Uncharted fan. But Uncharted, like, I kind of know what I'm getting because we've seen footage of it. Zelda is still like, is Link a girl? Like, there's all those rumors going around that, like, in the last like Nintendo Direct, it was covering its face with the hood. It had long hair. Then they announced Linkle in the same Direct. Like, there's rumors going around about that. Is it a female version of Link? How's the open world going to look? It looks freaking gorgeous. Just from like that 10-second clip, it looks incredible. Will it be, Wii U, NX? Both, like, that'd probably be my most anticipated, to be honest, just to see what the hell's going on with that game.
Mm-hmm.
And how it's gonna, improve the Zelda mechanics in that giant open world. That's probably the most intriguing, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we can move into part 2 of our topic of the week. And wow, this is going to be a long episode, folks. We warned you. That's why we had 3 quick news stories to begin with. Okay, folks, the second part is our PSX Predictions. That's right, the PlayStation experience is coming up very quickly onto us. We thought we might have saved this for next week's episode, but most likely we're not going to get an episode up in time before the show, just given how things are going right now with work and schedules and whatnot. It's been a hassle to record. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this week, and next week we're probably going to record after the PSX event. So yeah, it's going to be, next episode is going to be late as well. Do apologize for that, but we think it would be better to fit in, and we'll try to get back to a regular Friday rotation afterwards. But anyway, yes, PSX Predictions. Last year we got a lot of cool shit that was announced. Final Fantasy VII coming to PS4 in terms of the PC remake, or up-res port, whatever you want to call it. We got free games from EA. What else was announced last year at PSX?
Shovel Knight, right? Coming to the PlayStation platforms.
Yep, that's right.
It was, I'm blanking right now. There was like Yakuza 5, which, where the hell is that game? That was supposed to be out by now.
Yeah. Suikoden 2 got announced for the Vita. We got a ton of Vita shit last year.
Yeah, that's interesting.
All right, so yeah, what do you think's going to get announced this year?
So I'm doing a quick list here right now, just off the top of my head. Finally, what everybody's been asking for: PlayStation name changes. Let's do it.
Yeah.
2015. Come on, guys. It's about time. Let's do it somehow.
Shuhei comes out on stage and is like, our engineers just came in with a very, very important discovery. Yeah. We can change names now.
But yeah, it would be the time to announce this, right? With the hardcore PlayStation audience being there. It's just, I think it's about time. Like, the PS4 has been out for 2 years now. We're going into its third year. Makes sense, right?
Yeah. I mean, just looking at a list of things that were announced last year, Street Fighter V was announced. Drawn to Death, was announced. Yakuza 5, Final Fantasy 7, 7 games for the Vita, Towerfall Ascension coming to the Vita, Banner Saga and Resident Evil Revelations 2, Fat Princess Adventures, Day of the Tentacle Special Edition, Broken Age, Gang Beasts, Shovel Knight has Kratos into it, and a bunch of other things. But yeah, I agree. The name change thing, I think that's definitely going to happen. We're probably going to get PS2 and 1 Classics finally confirmed with trophy support.
Yeah, that was on my list. Yep.
Let's see. I think they'll pull something out of their hat.
I think there's going to be a new trailer for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Really? You think this soon?
Yeah, I think they have to show something. Or
maybe.
They could just wait, but at least some sort of update, whether it's a trailer or it's just Square Enix coming out on stage and telling you an announcement about an announcement.
They'll come out. It's like, remember, we have a special announcement in March. We're going to announce the release date of Final Fantasy 15.
Jesus, that was ridiculous. But
maybe we get a Kingdom Hearts stuff, like a new world announced, maybe.
Or they announce like Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and 2. Whatever the hell. It has crazy numbers how they title it. But you know what I mean. The Kingdom Hearts HD versions coming to PlayStation. That would make sense, that. So they would have the Final Fantasy, some sort of update or a trailer or whatever the case may be, and then they'll have the Kingdom Hearts alongside the Final Fantasy VII. Boom, it's out, like the PC version. Like that would make sense for Square Enix to talk about. I was just thinking of like a surprise that they could do.
Sony Ben's game, maybe?
It's possible, but I don't know if they'll hold that to another conference. You think they're going to announce the new God of War? Or they're going to hold that till E3?
That's a tough one
Or
too.
if it's a new protagonist, if it's still Kratos, if it's within its universe, if it's another damn prequel. Please, no, no, don't do that, guys. Please, not again.
Yeah,
Um,
no.
yeah, I'm trying to think what have been the dormant IPs for PlayStation. There's like The Getaway, like there's Siphon Filter,
Mm-hmm.
there's Wipeout,
Yep.
there's um can't think of anything else right now off the top of my head. I'm sure they're gonna do a lot of PlayStation VR stuff.
Mm-hmm. Maybe a new Sly Cooper game.
Oh, that's true. Crash Bandicoot hops on stage.
The guy in the costume from the original 1990 commercials.
He's still yelling at Nintendo. There's some weird stuff going on with Crash, which I'll tell you off the air. Uh,
Oh,
but
okay.
but yeah, it's just hilarious. Anyway, yeah,
But
I think that kind of wraps it up in terms of the stuff. There has to be some surprises, right? Like
oh, of
some sort
course.
of new either first party or second party announcement or some sort
Mm-hmm.
of HD remake or remaster or whatever the case may be. I don't know, it's kind of hard to predict because it isn't like E3 that you're like, because this is like a smaller event. It's not at the scale of an E3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at least in terms of exposure, I guess. It's still massive, of course, because it's the actual PlayStation convention, but it's not like it's E3 either. Um, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to see what the announcements are and
Maybe we get a release month for PlayStation VR.
yeah, a release month. I don't know if they're committed to a price point yet. Um, committed to a launch lineup yet. Give me the damn
Mm-hmm.
dinosaur game. I'm there day one. The one from Crytek.
Robinson,
Yeah.
The Journey.
Oh, just, just give me that day one. I'll buy it. But yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of PlayStation VR focus because I heard they're going to have a lot of demo units for people to try out. So that's definitely going to be a big push for them because they want their hardcore audience to experience this device and then go out, tell their families, tell their friends, really spread the message about PlayStation VR, and that just makes sense, right?
Yep.
Um, so I definitely see that being a big push for them. Um, but the reason I said the Square thing about Final Fantasy VII is because this whole Nintendo thing that just happened with
Oh
Cloud
yeah.
being in Smash, like it's like they got a one up, Nintendo got
Mm-hmm.
a one up on PlayStation, right? So I
Yep.
could see them getting a one up on Nintendo with like a new Final Fantasy VII remake, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation All Stars 2. That personally, that would be something I would
Oh,
like to see.
oh, oh! I just thought of something. In Japan, I know for the arcades, they're doing a new Final Fantasy Dissidia
Oh, that's
game,
true.
the fighting game. Maybe they announced that's actually going to be coming to PlayStation 4 as well.
Yeah, that makes sense. They've
Like,
been bringing a lot of
here's
stuff.
your
Huh?
HD cloud fighting game.
I remember trying out one of those demos. It was kind of strange, that fighting game. I
Hmm.
kind of enjoyed it, but it was weird.
Oh yeah,
But
very unique.
but yeah, I can't think of there's probably stuff that we're missing, but off the top of our heads, like I can't really think of anything else. Like they already dropped the price of the PlayStation, right? Unless they do like a Vita price
Oh,
drop.
how about the final Street Fighter 5 character gets announced?
That makes sense. That makes sense, and it's Cloud.
Well, no, it wouldn't be Cloud. It would either be
Oh,
Tifa
yeah, yeah.
or it would be Zell from Final Fantasy VIII.
And they'll spank the butt. Um, that's why they took the butt spank from Armika. They're gonna put it on TV. Oh Jesus!
Oh dear
They're
Lord.
gonna get a one up on. I'm trying to think what character they could steal from Nintendo and put it in Street Fighter, like a franchise that's known for being on Nintendo. Um, I can't think of anything right off the top of my head.
Oh, I can't either.
Because cloud is synonymous with PlayStation, the original PlayStation. What's like
I got it. I
which
got it.
one?
They take Mallow from Super Mario RPG.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious, man. They take Mallow or they take what's
Gino.
yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, they take Gino. Screw you guys. That'd be that'd be so funny. That'd be so damn funny, man. Oh, that'd be so funny. Yeah.
Oh, but anyways, I think we can wrap this up real quick right now.
Yeah.
PSX is a hard event to predict just because you have no idea what Sony's going to pull out of their ass for that one. So with that, we have 0 questions. Oh, wait, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, it was just you. Right.
What? Oh, yeah.
Your comment from the last episode. We didn't do the special names, which we only did 1 this week.
Yeah.
Anyways, I do believe that's going to do it for another episode of this fine show. And if you've actually stuck with us the entire time, thank you. Again, I apologize for my rant, but it's not often that I actually get angry about something on this show. Very rare. And probably won't happen again for a while. So hope you enjoyed that. And if you hated it, I'm sorry. It probably won't happen again for another 50 episodes. So, Izzy, why don't you take us away?
So thank you guys for checking out the Glitched Out Gaming podcast and sticking with us through this long episode, right? Let us know in the comment section down below what are your thoughts on any of the news stories we discussed, such as the PlayStation Plus and Games with Gold lineups. Some of the nominees for the Game Awards, any of the choices that you guys are going to be picking for the fan choice section. The PlayStation, I was about to say PlayStation Plus, PlayStation Experience predictions. You guys have any experience predictions down below? Leave them in the comment section. And for Lord X, I'm Izzy, aka Israel Pacheco 89, and we are glitching out.
Hashtag free the titties.